Hey, what's going on? It's Stranger and welcome to another YouTube music production video. And in today's video, we're going to be learning how we make a punchy sub bass like this. And I have an oscilloscope here so you can see how the waveform looks like. But we're going to start from scratch, so I'm going to pull Serum over. And this can be applied to pretty much any synth, but today I've decided to use Serum and show you guys how to do it in here. So we're just going to go into oscillator A, and then we're going to select the analog BD sign. And the wavetable position simply allows you to adjust that sign to a more, I guess, rougher analog sign to a more pure sign. It's up to you what you want to use. Either or works. And I'm just going to enter a couple notes here so we can just listen to what we're making. So just make sure, remember when we're writing bass, to find the right note that has that low end. Anything between A0 and D0 should give you that punchy sub. I'll go G for today, and I'm just gonna pull some notes over here. I'm just gonna make triplets here, and then just copy that over. Okay, I'm gonna go back into Serum, and I'm just gonna increase the level of that sub so you can hear it. Now the first thing you want to do is to increase that attack to about 1 millisecond, otherwise you'll get that click. Sometimes a little more, maybe. Depends on the synth. For Serum, it looks like you need it around 3 milliseconds so you don't get that click at the very beginning of the sound. And then the next step is we're going to create kind of an attack to that sub so it sounds punchy. And to do that, we're going to go into the modulation matrix, and we're going to assign envelope 2 to the main tuning. So this envelope 2 here will now control the overall tune of the signal, and we're gonna increase this to say 12. So right now it'll sound like this because that envelope is all the way up here. That sustain note is up here, so it's pitching that signal 12 semitones up. But what we want to do is bring the sustain all the way down and then adjust the decay accordingly so we get an attack on that sub. So notice as we decrease the decay, you get more of an attack. And then you can adjust the slope of that decay. It's up to you. You can zoom in here and really zone in on that attack. So just click and drag down to zoom in. Whatever sounds good to you. And adjust the decay accordingly. I say around 100 milliseconds is good, but you can definitely have it even quicker, right? Like 20 milliseconds, 30. It depends on the sub you want, so experiment. You can go anywhere from like even like 600, so you get more of a booming kick sound. This one is pretty good too at 200 milliseconds. I'll leave it here about 132. And then you might want to adjust the overall amplitude envelope. So I'm just going to bring over the oscilloscope so you can see the waveform as we modulate it. So this is how it looks right now. And I'm just going to make this louder so we can see. So now we're going to adjust the amplitude envelope. So we're going to go into envelope 1, zoom out a bit. We're going to say, let's bring the sustain down to say -4. So now we have this. So you get an initial impact on that sub bass. And the decay just determines how quick that attack is. So you can have a really quick decay. so you get that really sharp attack. Or you can have a more slower one, right? It's really up to you. You can have a more rounded attack. Remember, this has to do with the volume, whereas envelope 2 has to do with more of the pitch. So that modulating the pitch on envelope 2 makes that really sharp attack, and then envelope 1 more shapes the volume of how that bass impacts. I'll make the note longer so you guys can see it more in action. Actually, I'll just make a new clip so we can come back to it. I'll make 2 notes here. Okay. In fact, I'll do a triplet, because we like triplet rhythms. Okay, so that's pretty good. Okay, so we can even bring the sustain even further down. So the sustain is pretty much where the signal will play when the note is held. And then the decay just determines how long does it take from the initial attack to go to the sustain level, right? So here we have a quick attack, so you have those tips. Or you can have a slower decay. So adjust accordingly for your track. And it's actually very helpful to have an oscilloscope like this. And this one is a free one. It's called Exoscope, and you can find it online. And now they actually have a 64-bit version, so that's pretty awesome because we're all pretty much on 64-bit systems now. So I'll leave a link in the comment below so you guys can grab this VST. It's very useful. And then another step to really fatten that sub is to add some drive to it. So I'm going to enable the filter. Now I'm not really using the filter, so I'm going to bring the cutoff all the way up. I'm really just using it for that drive. So now you don't want to distort the signal, but or you might, but depends on your track, right? Depends on what you want. If you want a clean sub, then up around there is good. And fat might add some more fatness to it. And then we can try the different waveforms under the analog BD sign. Let's maybe adjust the wavetable position so we get more of that analog sign. So the analog sign has some harmonics on it, and that could be desired. It's up to you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just walked you guys through on how to make a really punchy and fat sounding sub, and you can use this in a lot of applications. I just gotta show it to you over a beat. It's always nice to hear it over some drums. So there's that triplet rhythm. We can try that fast one. So you can see how having a punchy sub really adds some rhythm to your track. And I encourage you guys to try it. And let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video and how you guys did. I would love to hear it. And if you found this helpful, please share the video, subscribe, and like. And until next time, we'll see you at the next video.